Anti-Bullying Week being observed in the British Virgin Islands from October 28 to November 1st. With us today is Mr. Cedric Thomas Jr. and Jacob Edwards of New Horizon Guidance Counseling Department with the Ministry of Education and Culture. We talk all things anti-bullying, the causes, how it could be prevented, and how persons in the community could assist, as well as the week-long activities as what you can expect. All these things and more when we come back after this commercial break. Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Gentlemen, welcome to 284 Media.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we said in our introduction, Anti-Bullying Week in the British Virgin Islands is being observed from October 28 to November 1st, 2019. We know that there is a worldwide campaign as it pertains to anti-bullying all across the United States, Europe, and in the UK. They are really pushing and trying to bring awareness to the major issue that is plaguing not only our children, but in some corporations as well, adults as well, as it pertains to bullying. Tell me a little bit, Jacob, I'm going to start with you. Break down New Horizon Guidance Counseling for me. Tell me a little bit about your department.
Well, again, we are the New Horizon Guidance Counselors unit, and definitely we are a group of counselors who are there to attend to all students' needs, the emotional difficulties, and just helping them break down the issues that they are facing and trying to help them find ways how to address those issues. And with that being said, us as counselors play that very vital role.
Indeed.
Within that area, that space when it comes to our students. So our unit are just trying our best to deal with that situation in the best way that we can, whether it's academic-wise or behavioral-wise in that aspect.
Understood. So Jacob, you are stationed at the Enid Adams Primary School as well as the Leonora Devil Primary School.
Correct.
And Mr. Thomas, you are at the Joyce Samuel Primary School. And what other school are you at?
Ebenezer Thomas.
Ebenezer Thomas. Within your experience, guys, let's talk a little bit about some of the cases of bullying that you both experienced. Mr. Thomas, I'll begin with you.
Well, bullying in both schools has been, or was an issue. It has been dealt with more or less now. But in the issue where it was, you always see a bigger student picking on a younger student.
More so in an older class.
In an older class, yes, in a later class, the upper grades. There's usually trying to either exert control in some way, or threaten a student in some way, or just be an oppressive force to another student.
Definitely.
That's usually how it occurs.
And what about you, Jacob? What are some of the examples of cases that you've seen within your time as a counselor?
Well, I would have to agree with Mr. Thomas. There's many cases that I have seen, and probably cases that I haven't as well, and cases that I will definitely encounter in the future. But as Mr. Thomas said again, sometimes it be an older student, and most of the times it would be an older student, just seeking that control. But at the same time, you know, we as the counselor now, we have to try our best to understand why the student is doing what they're doing, why they are seeking control, why are they trying to impact harm or channel negativity towards other students and stuff like that. So our encounters with bullying or students that bully other students is really something that take us way back and try to figure out, okay, what's really going on? What is happening? Why is this child exhibiting these stuff, you know? So it's really interesting, but it's really hard to see.
Now, what are some of the underlying issues, Mr. Thomas, that you would say could attribute to someone imposing the behaviors of a bully?
Some of the issues that I've seen that I've struggled with is that the students themselves have trouble expressing themselves.
Okay.
and they themselves have trouble at home or in some other places where they don't have that control, and they try to exert that control onto other students and to other people. And because they don't know how to express themselves, we often go towards violence or some other form of negative form of control and oppressive force.
Cool. Definitely. And just to chime in on what Mr. Thomas said, I know he spoke about the home and stuff. To me, when you look at the homes, a lot of structure is missing. And that's a big factor when it comes to bullying, because at the end of the day, as parents, you have to make sure that your children understand your rules. You have to make sure that they understand what you go by, your guidelines. And sometimes as parents, we just think that financial support is it, you know, and that's another big issue as well. But we don't know that all children is seeking more than that. All children are hurting, and they need, as Mr. Thomas said, you as a parent, you have to show them how to express themselves, because even as parents, we have trouble expressing ourselves. So what they're seeing, okay, mommy and daddy, they don't speak to one another about their issues.
Yeah.
They don't say, well, this is what bothers me, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go to school, I'm going to act out because I don't know how to express myself. I don't know how to say, well, teacher, I'm bleeding inside, or teacher, something is going on at home and I don't have nobody to talk to. And I guess that's where we as counselors come in.
Of course.
You understand?
No, gentlemen, it still takes a village to raise a child. We've heard that age-old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. And I think perhaps we've forgotten it, so I always like to say it still takes a village to raise a child, because it really still does. For persons who are within the education system, whether it be a teacher, someone who works at an after-school facility, and parents as well, and other students, what encouragement would you give to these persons who are within the arena where they perhaps are witnessing bullying? What kind of steps should they take as members of the community to kind of intervene and put a stop to it?
I think the very first step is to be vigilant, to be very, very vigilant of what's going on with the students. I know we spoke about physical bullying, but there's also the emotional aspect of it. And the emotional aspect of it is also happening a lot with the girls, I've noticed, where they speak about each other in horrible, horrible ways, and they tell things to each other, and they have gossip and rumors, and all of these things happen without us knowing a lot of the time. So my first set of advice is to be vigilant.
Okay.
Definitely.
And then and again, that's the most important, Mr. Thomas. And after that, after you recognize the issue, again, is you have to take action. And the action is not just attacking the issue by, okay, you know you're not supposed to do this.
Right.
You know you have to, and that's where we go wrong.
You don't fight aggression with aggression.
No,
Right.
we have to understand the issue.
You
see, this is the issue. This is the issue what has been coming up lately. We are always quick to find solutions. But again, you cannot find a solution for something that you don't understand. And that's the biggest issue we have fighting this battle of bullying. You cannot find solutions for something that we don't understand. So therefore, you have to break it down. You have to go step by step. You have to find out, well, what are the factors? What are the issues causing this reaction? Why is the child doing this? Why is the child doing that? How can we shift that behavior?
Shift that energy.
You know, as we did a seminar, I think I remember we doing it, Mr. Thomas, where we have, in terms of behavior, we have to find a function.
Right, the function
There's
of the
always a
behavior.
function to why a behavior is prevalent.
Understood.
You understand? So that's what we have to find out. What is the reason? What is the cause? And then we can be effective. If you understand what I'm saying.
Of course, yeah.
So it is very hard. I'm not saying that attacking this issue is simple. It's not simple, especially for parents, teachers, or mentors within the community, because excuse me, we living in a time where everybody for themselves. Oh, that's not my child, so I'm not going to correct them. That's not my child, so I'm not going to get involved.
Right.
But that's where we're going wrong. Like you said, it takes a village to raise a child. I grew up in that mindset.
Village community,
You
yes.
understand? And I'm sure Mr. Thomas did too, and I know for sure. But we had people there, again, who was vigilant and who took action. Not in an aggressive way or to bring more harm to the situation, but action where they could see a possible outcome positively.
Yep.
And that's why some of us are here today.
Indeed.
And we need to have that continuation to help our students, to help our young people,
Yep.
and even our adults, as you explained to us earlier, because definitely we have adults that are being bullied
Correct.
in the corporate world. So it's not an easy task,
Not at all.
but it's not impossible. If you understand what
Well,
I'm
I'll tell
saying.
you this: the panel today is quite ironic that we're all gentlemen, but it's it's ironic, but it's interesting because we're living proof. All three of us are living proof that
Definitely.
that village has taken on a very pivotal role. I can speak for myself, but I know both of you as well.
Oh, yeah.
Funny story: in coming into the interview and setting up, I looked at it and I looked at Mr. Thomas and I said, Cedric Thomas. I said. He didn't tell me Junior, but I was like, there has to be Cedric Thomas Jr. Again, grew up knowing his dad very well around my parents and stuff like that. So that community spirit is what's really needed to kind of
Definitely.
solidify our position. Let's talk about Anti-Bullying Week being observed again in the British Virgin Islands, October 28 to November 1st. What are some of the activities planned?
Well, I guess first of all, we have to let you guys know that the theme for this year is Change Starts With Us. And that's a very powerful theme. It might sound cliche because we are always saying change, change, change. And we know that change is the only thing that stays constant, and that's the drive that we want to portray. Change starts with us. We have to make that initiative. We have to make that first step to get things done.
Great theme.
Definitely. So I could let my colleague just
Yeah.
continue.
Talk about some of the
a little bit.
activities. Yeah.
Some of the activities that we'll be doing is Be a Buddy, Not a Bully Day.
I like that.
So we're focusing on friendships. We're asking the students to choose a friend, whether you pick through a bag or whatever. You choose a friend for the day, for the week. Just to emphasize that friendship, get to know each other, be nice to one another, be kind to one another.
And also just to help him out a little bit more because we're a team,
Of course.
you know. And that initiative, when Mr. Thomas actually brought it up, because he was the one to actually brought up that initiative, to me it really stand out because we know we have to step out of the norm, even if we have to pair children who even have certain issues and see how they could walk them out, because our children, they don't understand conflict resolution at all. And that initiative is so perfect into bringing to light that aspect of conflict resolution. And see, at the end of the day, they get to work things out, you know, share certain things with one another.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, they have a reflection and say, okay, I really think that this was a good initiative. I really think that we learned a lot, and some of the issues we got resolved. That's what we want. We want all young people to learn how to solve their own conflicts and issues.
Working together. Working
And that's what that Be Buddy, Be a
Not
Buddy
a
initiative.
bully, yes.
Good.
Definitely.
So that's for a day or perhaps the entire week?
The week.
Okay,
we
great.
want it for the week.
Okay, we're encouraging them to pair up with a friend who they might not have had before and just be a buddy.
Yep.
Interesting. Anything else taking place during this
Also,
week?
we have pledges as well, where different schools can create their own anti-bullying pledges, whether they want to stick it up, have it there as something concrete for that school alone, but we really want to encourage those anti-bullying pledges. So when you as a student, you come in and you read this every day, you have to take it in, you have to say, live by it. You say, okay, I'm not going to be a bully, I'm not going to exercise negative behavior to somebody else or whatever the case may be. It's like the pledge, like you take pride in it, something to take pride in.
Yep.
So that's also another aspect of it, where we have schools create their own anti-bullying pledge, or improvise, or whether it's update if you have one already, or whatever the case may be. That's another activity that we want to portray as well.
Definitely. I like the ability, gentlemen, for us to create those campaigns, because one of the things that we do here at 284 Media as well is we do a lot of PSAs, public service announcements, and I think that sort of information is really pivotal, not only during this week, but for persons to be aware of as they go through their day-to-day routines. They should be cognizant of these things. Well, I thank you guys so much for stopping by. Again, it is The Change Starts With Us. That's a theme.
Change Starts With Us.
And the Anti-Bullying Week here in the British Virgin Islands is going to be observed on October 28 to November 1st, 2019. The colors for anti-bullying is green.
Green,
Okay, so we
yes.
want everyone to be cognizant of that and wear their green in support of anti-bullying
Friday, you can
on
wear
Friday.
Friday,
yes.
Okay, great.
Shades of Green Day.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.